Prasad, roll number is 3554 from the IBDP Year-2. Today my TOK presentation is going to be on the topic graffiti and is it vandalism or not. What is graffiti? Graffiti is like simple drawings or writings on the wall you see in public places, and they can be from simple words like highly intricate drawings you see over here. And sometimes these kind of drawings, they convey good messages sometimes, and sometimes they convey bad ones. So, and in most countries, it's considered as a criminal offense, and people who do it are punished for it. My first realized situation is when I was in Kerala. In my compound and in my locality, I come across many walls which have graffiti painted on them. And most of my family members, like the elder ones, like my uncles and my parents, they feel kind of frustrated about this because they feel that this graffiti is vandalizing their walls and like, making it look bad. But for me and some of my brothers and sisters, we don't feel the same way. We feel like it's normal. It's just, it kind of actually adds a bit more color to the area as well. We don't feel the same way. To my father mainly, he feels that this is such a bad offense that he wants them to be as criminals, and he wants to even report to the local police. But I don't think this should happen in such a way. And like even the drawings in my compound aren't bad ones. They promote positive messages and like nothing that offends anyone. If I come to my knowledge question, that is, since if graffiti is the imagination of an artist, what he puts out on the walls, to what extent can it be considered as a form of art? From my second real situation is in 2013 in New York City. It's by a man named David Bloom, who goes by the alias of Cobra. He was caught tagging a wall. This is one of his works, but he was caught tagging his walls on one of the walls of his studio building by the police, and he was taken to jail, and in a court sentence he was sentenced to 4 months of prison. And hearing this, the public was outraged, saying that such an act should not receive such harsh sentences, and he does not deserve to be sent to prison. And this, in the city of Manhattan, held a huge riot and protests against the New York Police Department for why they took this decision. But nothing was changed, and the man was still in prison. But he was able to come out early, within 6 weeks of his sentence, but was still fined for $50,000. This still was, and they banned him from holding a spray can ever again. This decision still frustrates the minds of the public in New York, and it was the problem was the authority, the perception of the authority of Bloom's work was misunderstood, and they did not, Bloom did not want any kind of, did not mean any offense to anyone or in any way, but the authority misunderstood this, and they fined him for this. So my claim is, a fellow graffiti artist, Stern Rockwell, said, "I appreciate art and kids get it when they see it. The writers are working on color and developing a unique style. Either you like it or not, but it's still art." Graffiti is this display of the mind. Like the artists display what's in their mind using the colors and shapes, and they just fit their just put out their emotions on the walls. So they connect, and many of these connect with the teenagers and the youngsters of today's world. Some of them are current topics which interest the teenagers, and many people in the world feel that these artists should not be labeled as criminals, and their work should be well known more around the world. Works like this one are displaying good messages, hope, and works like this should be promoted and not shunned upon. And the talents of these artists who do such work should be more well known across the world. My counterclaim is, this is a quote by Len Brown, who is the mayor of Auckland City in Australia. "Tagging can lower the property values and can encourage more vandalism and other types of crime." It is true that graffiti is considered a crime in most countries, and since of this, many graffiti artists who do this have been captured and have fined or so. And many cases of vandalism come up because the walls they paint on belong to maybe some sort of private organization, like an office building or a company or someone's apartment building or compound. This is a gang symbol or some sort of gang symbol. It is works like these that make people think that graffiti, all types of graffiti is just bad, but not all of them are like. This is one of the few. So such kind of graffiti, I agree, can be shunned upon, should be demoted and stopped. But just because this one is bad doesn't mean all of them are bad. So my perspective is that I do not feel that graffiti conveys bad message all the time. They convey a lot of positive messages and should be promoted in a positive way. And the artists should not be labeled in a bad way or discriminated by anybody or anyone. And they should be allowed to express themselves in any form of graffiti, and they should not be afraid that the authorities are going to come and catch me. Like, they should be able to do it free. And many feel that graffiti is ethically wrong and should not be done in the world, but it shouldn't be that way. Like, I do not feel this way. Coming to the ways of knowing and areas of knowledge. I've chosen two areas of knowledge, that's the arts and ethics. Graffiti is a form of art because what is art? Pretty much it's colors, it's creativity, it's imagination, shapes. That is what graffiti is, pretty much. Except when you do it in art, you do it on a paper or a canvas. This is on a wall. And this is considered a form of art. And there are many debates in the world right now whether it is considered ethically wrong or right. I myself personally consider it's not ethically wrong. It should be right. Like, there's nothing wrong, and it doesn't cause harm to anyone. And these forms of art, like if it's related to some sort of topic that it relates to current situations, current affairs, then these arts, like, some people share it on social media, and the more people get to know about it, and then more people are aware of such things. Then when it comes to the ways of knowing, the graffiti is just the artist expressing his emotions. Whatever he feels like, maybe inside one day he just randomly feels sad, he goes draw something sad. If he feels happy, he goes draw something fruity and colorful on the walls. It's just his emotions. And sometimes the language used by artists also play a huge role in this. When the artists are free and happy, they use simple languages, good, clean languages, nothing to harm anyone. Some artists are there who use bad languages and write curse words on the wall. These kinds of artists should be demoted, but the good ones are still majority. Then there's imagination. The artists use their imagination to somehow infuse current affairs or anything into their works of art, graffiti, and it catches the eye of people, catches the eye, and makes sure it's appealing and eye-catching to people. And finally, the most important one is the perception of the people. So what the artist means by drawing on this wall might not be the same thing what the public feels. Like, public might interpret it as something else, maybe something offensive. And the authorities might think of it as something offensive. So this plays a huge role in what people label graffiti as, either art or vandalism. Now, the ethics in graffiti, it's can be ethically wrong because it defaces the public property or private property. But it's also considered right because some people who appreciate various forms of art and who understand the artist's view, who see it from the artist's view. So these people think it's not wrong and it's right. And a survey conducted by the Times newspaper in California revealed that people feel that graffiti artists are vandals. And the only way to stop them is by making sure that people don't think of them as anything else other than vandals. That's all. And
two questions. One, your generation, do they think that tattooing is graffiti or vandalism?
Tattooing is not technically graffiti because tattooing can't be considered vandalism definitely because it's your own body, it's your wish, it's your life, what's your body, what you want to do with it. It can't be considered vandalism.
My second question is, sometimes children wear t-shirts, young people, with a graffiti on it which is objectionable and might have derogatory words. What have you to say on that?
Shirts like that are present, and they shouldn't wear such shirts in public. Maybe it's offensive. So when someone wears such a shirt, they should think of it first. Like, if I wear this shirt and I'm going somewhere, it's in the public, people look at the shirt and they may feel offensive. So we should probably avoid from wearing such clothing. And even if it has graffiti, maybe something of a positive message or something that doesn't offend anyone.
Do you recognize that? Yes. So any questions?
How would you feel the right way for graffiti to be encouraged in public places? What method would you think would be your favorite?
Like, in many places are there in US right now where maybe it's under a bridge or something where the police allow graffiti artists and just go and draw whatever they want and leave it as it. They don't harm them, they don't disrupt them or interrupt them in any way. They leave artists to do whatever they feel like. Under some places, maybe under a bridge or on the side of a turned on wall or something like that. So maybe that's just a few of the things. maybe they should put that a bit more, and maybe even reinforce some functions where our artists can come from around the world and display their talents and show the world what they do. And for a good, maybe for a good cause, like show that they're not bad people. They just love art and just want to display their work to the world.
So you may make some specific designated places which should be appropriate for the graffiti people to access and to use it, isn't it?
Yeah, and they should also make a law. Maybe they shouldn't put anything that's bad, no negative messages. That can be like kept down, but kept away. But like, the good ones can still be kept up.